Hello. In this video, we will walk you through how to recommend a grant from your fund using the Community Foundation's Fundholder portal. Once logged in, a grant request can be initiated by clicking the blue Create Grant Request button in the top right corner of most pages within the portal. The first step in recommending a grant is selecting a grantee, and there are various ways to do this. The easiest way is to choose a grantee from organizations your fund has previously supported. Click the Previous Grantee button to see a drop-down list of all grantees you have given to in the past. From here, you can also view a list of all funds at the Community Foundation that can receive a grant. Simply click on the name of the grantee or fund you wish to support, and you'll be taken to the grant request form. If you want to make a grant to an organization you have not previously supported, you can search for one in the Community Foundation database by clicking the Search Grantee button. Type in the name, city, state, or EIN number and click Search. If the organization is in our database, you can simply click on the Create Request button. If the organization you are searching for is not yet in the Community Foundation database, you also have the option to view results from Candid, a national database of nonprofits recognized by the IRS. Simply click on Candid results above to see organizations that match your search criteria in their database and click Create Request once found. If these searches don't help find the organization you are looking for, you also have the option to type in your grantee's information manually by clicking Manual Grantee. Enter the organization's name and contact information, and then click Submit to proceed. Once a grantee has been identified, you will be brought to this form to complete your grant request. If you would like to provide the name or contact information for a specific individual at the grantee organization, click the Additional Grantee Contact box to reveal additional fields to complete. Description is a required field. Enter the designation or specific purpose for this grant. For instance, the grant might be for a specific program or campaign. For unrestricted use, please write General Support. Then enter the amount of the grant. All you need to include is the number, not any dollar signs or commas. If you would like for the grant to be completely anonymous, without naming the fund or its advisors, click the anonymous box. You now have the option of setting up a recurring grant. For instance, say you would like to make regular grants to an organization on a monthly, quarterly, or annual basis. You can do so by clicking the recurring box. The date you enter will be the date the first grant is sent. Then select the interval for future payments. And finally, enter the number of times this grant should recur by filling in a number. If you leave this field blank, the grant will continue at the selected interval indefinitely until you notify the Community Foundation differently. The amount entered above will be the amount of each recurring grant. Moving forward in the request form, you'll see that you have the ability to upload attachments if you wish to provide supporting information. And at the end of the form is a section called Notes to CF Staff. This is where you can include any additional information on how this grant should be processed, such as if it's in honor or in memory of someone. Once all information is entered, click the Add to Cart button. You will see there is now a Cart button at the top right corner of most pages where all of your grant requests are compiled for review. From the cart, you can edit or delete a grant request you have already filled out. You can also create additional grant requests. Once all of your grant requests are ready, click the Review Grant Request button for one final look. Click the Submit Grant Request button to send all requests in your cart to the Community Foundation for processing. Once you do so, you will be redirected to a page with a green banner that says Grant Request Submitted. Advisors will also receive a confirmation email. Click the Continue button to return to the grant request page where the grants you just submitted will be listed with a status of request. If you discover you have made an error or need to cancel the grant for any reason, you can do so by clicking the Cancel button. However, once the Community Foundation has begun processing the recommendation, you will no longer be able to cancel the grant from the portal, and instead will need to contact the Community Foundation for assistance. Once the grant has been processed for payment, the status will change to paid, and once the grant has been mailed out, the status will display as complete. This wraps up our tutorial on how to recommend a grant using the Fundholder portal. If you have any questions or require assistance, please contact the Community Foundation.